It's Grimace's birthday, everybody, and he's celebrating with a promotional, fully playable Game Boy Color game in 2023. Yes, you heard that right.
First brought to my attention by excellent retro game site Time Extension, the new old game appropriately called Grimace's Birthday is really to commemorate the launch of the Grimace's Birthday ice cream shake and was willed into existence by Krool Toys, a company known for their modern Game Boy games and other brand-building antics.
And immediately, I knew I had to play it, and then make a video about it. I have a complicated history with Grimace.
Do you want to explain what's on your cake here?
Can anyone? This is Grimace,
Yeah.
the sexiest one.
Now, it's no secret that brands love to appeal to consumers, and as one of the most popular forms of entertainment on the planet, video games are a place where consumers can be found. From the likes of early 90s educational platformer Captain Novolin, which stars a superhero with type 1 diabetes and advertises the Novolin brand of insulin, to the world-conquering, obstacle-avoiding refreshment titan Pepsi Man. Brands and video games go way, way back.
In fact, McDonald's themselves have a couple of games under their belt already.
There was Virgin Games' Mackey's-themed Global Gladiators for one, and 1993's McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure on the Sega Mega Drive for two. Two in total.
It's this latest adventure that I'll be looking at today, however, so I hope you've got a present for this friend-shaped purple mascot, because he needs our help.
It's Grimace's birthday, and he's throwing the party of the year at McDonald's. But he needs to round up Birdie, Hamburglar, and the McNugget buddies. The only problem is, they're nowhere to be found!
Where is everybody? SMH. We've got to talk about the way the characters speak in this game.
Initially, I thought it was just a cool, hip reimagining of the characters in an effort to make them appeal to the youth of today, but as the game progressed, it became increasingly clear that the tongue is very much in the cheek here. More on that shortly. Grimace's Birthday is a side-scrolling platformer. Sometimes he skateboards, and sometimes he doesn't.
In the first couple of stages, he's skateboarding.
The absolute peak of performance that he represents, Grimace is able to not only grind, but also kickflip as he makes his way through the stage. Fortunately, grinding is as simple as jumping on a rail and having him do the rest, but a harder mode is available should you wish to manually grind, which I couldn't work out. Also, I discovered that if you hit an obstacle and collapse to the ground in very Peter Griffin fashion, Grimace will remain there, arse skyward, until you choose to continue. Ba 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 ba. I love it. Look at that juicy cake there.
Anyway, you begin grabbing the 40 collectible milkshakes because Grimace is very popular and isn't going to drink them alone in a dark corner, and avoid the bins. I think that's what they are.
They're either bins or the packaging of McDonald's fries. Either way, I found myself hitting them quite frequently as they can be a bit hard to avoid.
Much like walking around any populated metropolitan area, eh? Because of littering. And it's often McDonald's packaging, like that's on the floor.
Yes. So you make your way through the sewer, or wherever it is that you are, eventually arriving in some kind of warehouse or factory environment. There are crates, more rails to grind upon, more shakes to collect, and this time there's a hazard in the form of some kind of poisonous gas. Yum. It's more open-ended too, with the goal of navigating your way up the stage instead of through it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's hardly a Mucktroidvania, but with grinding on rails sending you in one direction, you'll have to manage hopping around and bouncing off springs to send you upwards, presenting a bit of a challenge.
Then we find our first missing guest, the Hamburglar.
"Robble, robble," he says. "I can't with you," replies Grimace.
It's like Shakespeare, honestly.
Bestie, help. I'm stuck in telephone wires by the arches. SOS.
Wait, FR? How?
The McNugget buddies dared me to jump off a roof with some balloons, and I totally sent it. XD.
OMG. KOMW.
Tolstoy-esque.
Look at him, he is perfect. To the rooftops we go now, en route to forcing Birdie to attend the party. Honestly, if she didn't want to come to Grimace's birthday, she didn't have to make up such an elaborate lie. Navigating a series of poles forms the majority of our platforming now as we ditch the skateboard in favour of jumping on the back of prowling squirrels to gain extra height. Across lampposts, a number of shakes are scattered, but watch out for the strange green bird things that cannot be jumped upon, but which instead must be avoided. Poppable balloons can earn extra points, and close clotheslines, I think that's what they are frequently posted to allow for extra height on your jumps when, squirrels aren't around, but if you fall to your death, you must start the level again.
Time for the next stage, and we're still on the rooftops.
But the green birds are cross now! Clearly tired of sitting back and being jumped over or into if you played as well as I did, now they patrol the skies, dashing towards you with a fearsome if they catch you in their line of sight. Additional platforming wrinkles come in the form of slightly larger balloons. Where previously you could pop them, now you must land upon them to reach shakes and also progress through the stage. Don't stay on them too long, however, as they aren't solid for very long.
Now at this point, I was beginning to wonder just what else this free McDonald's promotional Game Boy Color game centered around a mascot's fictional birthday could possibly throw at me. But then they went and did it. McFlappy, McBird.
Watch as Grimace takes to the skies, emboldened by a thin sphere of soda factory liquid protecting him from the elements, granting him the ability to fly like an eagle to the sea, fly like an eagle. Let his spirit carry him. He wants to fly right into the future.
Space Jam.
Across the rooftops and towards his missing guests flies the Purple Punisher, dodging cross birds, popping balloons and collecting more shakes. His reward? Being reunited with Gen Z Birdie. Ugh, she is literally insane, am I right, guys?
All that remains for our special birthday boy is to choose his cake and blow out the candles. Obviously, I went with a gigantic stack of nuggets in place of a cake. Yes.
A final minigame concludes affairs by having you pop balloons with a crosshair, but despite being really good at it, I couldn't get all of the candles to light up. Maybe it's not related to popping the balloons, I don't know. When I say all the candles, by the way, I mean 8. There are 8 candles. Is Grimace 8 years old?
No, he is 52. He's too old to have jumped over rooftops for this.
He then parties the night away like the big party monster that he is. What a well-deserved evening of pleasure.
Honest thoughts? Seriously impressive. We all know what this game is. It's a shameless promotional tie-in for a multi-billion-dollar fast food company. But as shameless promotional tie-ins for multi-billion-dollar fast food companies go, the care, competence, and sheer effort that's gone into Grimace's birthday for the Game Boy Color definitely deserves praise.
Everything from the McDonald's ba-ba-ba-ba-ba music to the sprites to the cute little story about the anniversary of a monstrous nugget fiend's birth to the sheer variety of gameplay packed into a sub-10-minute adventure is really great stuff. Tweets from people who were lucky enough to have a birthday at McDonald's bookend the stages, and additional score attack and free skate modes are available if you really want to maximize your time with Grim. That's what his friends call him, by the way. You can play it through your browser for free via this amazing retro-style website, and it actually runs on the Game Boy Color and emulators too.
So take a bow, Grimace's birthday for the Game Boy Color. You have cemented your place not only as a modern retro curiosity, but have also earned a spot in the, oh my goodness, I can't believe they've done this and they've actually done it sort of well, Video Game Hall of Fame. Right next to I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. You should play that too, by the way. That's a good one.